Jimmie, thank you so much for being here today. I greatly appreciate your time. Hey, how's everything been? How's Expo been for you? I know we're here in Temecula. Been a good event for you?
Yeah, it's been great. It was awesome. It's been really inspiring, and a lot of good feedback. A lot of guys rallying around. Kind of like the thing of like, hey, yeah, economy's not great, but you know what? We're all doing pretty good. So
yeah,
that's what's really cool. Is it's just we're not growing as much as we want to, but it's funny. Everybody has a really upbeat, excited tempo that really is a cool thing.
Right. Yeah, a lot of the big themes of Expo have been marketing, and then today's operations. You certainly helping with both of those. But you mentioned there's some headwinds, there's some challenges out there. What are some things that you've been dealing with at Baker Brothers that have been kind of unusual as per the last few years?
Well, the last few years, what was kind of crazy is we had this incredible growth last year. So last year we were really doing well. As good as anybody. And I think we grew like maybe 35% on the top line. And then the bottom line, we grew as much. We had our best EBITDA year. What was really kind of crazy was December was our best December in history. Like normally December, we kind of go, okay, that goes down because of the holidays and everything. Ours actually kicked up. We were way above budget.
Wow.
And then what was crazy was January just shut off like a light switch. Like people decided, hey, I need to save some money, or hey, I'm concerned. And so it was very interesting because it happened so fast.
Yeah.
It wasn't a gradual thing like, hey, we were gradually doing bad coming into the year, and then we got in the front of the year. But this year it's been a challenge. And, we've just taken it on with stride and said, hey, we have to work harder for the same amount of money. And let's get after it. And I think back when there was a recession, the Great Recession, we just kind of told all our people like, hey, we're not going to participate. We're gonna work hard. We're gonna be better. We're gonna figure out better ways, better methodology. We're gonna sharpen the axe, so to speak. Like, hey, let's really sharpen up everything. And so what was kind of cool about the year, it was really challenging and really worked a lot more than normal. But what was really neat about the year was how much efficiency we've gained, how much we've taken things like, email pieces. I would just barely look at it, make sure it's spelled right and like send it out. I don't care.
Yeah.
Now we're breaking down like, hey, who we're sending it to, when are we sending it, what's it say?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, let's make sure that we do everything. So I think it kind of raised the bar on us to do everything excellent, as opposed to just doing the things that we know move the needle the most excellent.
I want to get on operations in a sec, but let's talk about how to manage call volume. What did you have to do differently with your marketing? I know your spend went up a little bit on digital. Maybe kind of share what did you immediately do? Like when stuff's like turns off like that, I know you're probably hyperventilating a bit.
Yeah, we spend more money on the digital marketing like pay-per-click and LSA.
Yeah.
LSA was great because it's a phone call. So if we spend more on it, as long as we optimize that on the other side, then we're doing good. I think I talked to you guys about, we made sure that jobs that may cost more, but they're more valuable, right? Like in plumbing, a slab leak to us is a really valuable job versus like a drippy faucet. Yeah. So it's like, hey, let's drive more of those kind of jobs. Let's get kind of in the weeds with our pay-per-click and LSA and make sure that, hey, it is more expensive to get a water heater. It is more expensive to do that.
Yeah.
But let's drive that. Then also price increases. We've all had increases like, the prior year before that, we just had materials going up crazy.
Right.
Well, even this year, as things have changed, there was definitely, marketing's more expensive, things are harder. And so, and it sounds crazy to move your price up, but not crazy, but like 3%, 5%.
Yeah.
And so we have had to have those price increases just to kind of get our margins in line.
Yeah. Did I know you're big on the TV waves and radio waves in the DFW area. Did your offers change at all? Were you running more spots than you normally did to kind of offset that, or are you pretty steady with that?
Well, we did change up because we usually just did a Monday, Tuesday on TV, and then this year to try something new, we came into the year doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I was like, hey, let's cut Wednesday out, and then let's reallocate. We didn't cut the spend.
Yeah.
We just said, let's cut Wednesday out, reallocate that into the Monday, Tuesday rotation so that we were more on Monday, Tuesday. We also had some branding campaigns on radio. Mm-hmm. And so to make room for the increase in the internet spend, we actually took the radio and just canceled it.
Yeah.
Because they were mentions. They were like 10-second mentions, 15-second mentions, like, hey, weather brought to you by Baker Brothers. So what we wanted to do, I mean, we had to make adjustments. And so I think the biggest mistake that we make sometimes is first, we don't plan.
Yeah.
Then we finally start budgeting and planning, and then we just go, oh, we got to stick with the plan. Well, you know, at halftime, the coach goes in there and says, hey, they're doing this to us and doing that to us, and they change their game plan coming out the second half. And I said, I think that's a mistake a lot of people make, is they don't go in and look and go, okay, what's working? What do we need and what do we not need?
Yeah.
And so the message, now we did not do this really that much this year. I mean, we did our offers like we kind of normally do. But coming in this next year, we're really going to start talking about the strategy of more need-based than want-based.
Right.
So, like, you know,
Because of the economy.
yeah, I may have a great water heater that works well, but I want a tankless water heater.
Yeah.
Well, we're like, hey, let's not go after people changing out their tankless water heater because they want one, or, you know, it's more convenient.
Right.
Now, we could sell a tankless water heater by saying, hey, it's going to save you this much on your gas bill. And you know what? Long-term, it's going to save you this much because it's going to last longer.
Right.
So I remember a guy said one time, he goes, hey, we were at a show, and he was the tankless, you know, water heater sales guy, you know, from the rep. And he basically goes, somebody goes, I can't afford one of those tankless water heaters. And he goes, you can't afford not to have one.
Right.
So even that vernacular change,
Yeah.
flipping around to go, I can't afford that, to go, you can't afford not to have it. I think it's more of the line of course of action we need to go to is like, hey, let's show, you know, runny toilets, drippy faucets, you know, things that don't work in our commercials, and reminding people, hey, we need to fix these things. You need to fix this. There's things that could happen.
Yeah.
And then kind of lighten the new product offerings and, hey, let's switch up because it's just nice to switch your faucet, that kind of thing. So I think that's kind of where we're going to like spend more of our creative focus this next year.
So you're going to shoot for the first time in 2.5 years, you're going to reshoot a bunch of different commercials then?
Yeah. We usually about every 2 years, like we'll do like 14 at a time, like in one day. So that usually puts, and what's funny is they kind of produce them as we go. So they usually take about a year to get all of them done. So by the time we get through 2 years, we've kind of ran through that creative, and then we gotta kind of freshen it up. So yeah, we'll probably be freshening it up here pretty soon.
Do you come, I mean, you do have a pretty clear idea what you want to do. Do you go to your agency with that, and then they come to you with the I want to say goofy, but the fun, eye-catching ideas, and then how much back and forth is there when you develop your creative?
Yeah, I think it's one of the biggest mistakes another big mistake guys make is they don't have a theme to their creative and most guys do like maybe 6 commercials all at one time. And the biggest mistake they make is they just do these, they don't have an overall theme.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, you know, and I think Gus was saying it on stage, and I thought it was a really great point. He goes, look, if Apple made a hotel, you can picture that in your head right now, can't you?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, because they have a look and a feel and their store does, and it just resonates through the whole company, what you picture in your head. So I think the mistake we make is that we don't use a commonality theme of our business and go, here's what Baker Brothers looks like.
Yeah.
Here's what Baker Brothers should be about.
Yeah.
And so I think when they do their creative, we used to go, hey, you know what? We really want to exude timeliness.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we want to do. I want it to be like timely. Hey, this next year, I want it to be about how great our technicians are. I want it to be about safety in your home, background check, drug tested technicians in their home. That's what I want everything to revolve around. So when we're getting stuck creatively or what should we do, you can still have, hey, fix your toilet, fix your faucet, but you can go now,
Right.
You know, call bakernow.com. You know, you can put everything in there that's timely, everything in there like the next time that's about your technicians and how great they are. We had a commercial where the technicians stood up like a superhero with a flag in the background. And then it had a funny thing, like, you know, what's more on time than a Baker Brothers plumber? And then it would just show a still picture of Big Bend, and it says, and it would make some dongs, and it'd be kind of a little chuckle. And then they go, yeah, but those hands can't fix a leak.
Yeah.
And then it would go back into like, you know, the truck and the insulate. So that was a good, because that's what we were trying to do. We were trying to make our guys look like heroes, clean cut, you know, safe in your home. I would let any one of those guys in my house, they were our real technicians, not actors.
Yeah.
And so that's, I think, what you have to do is you have to create your theme. What's your company about? And I think, you know, we talked about on stage about, you know, core values.
Yep.
And I was like, man, don't have a core value that's not, if you don't care about people, then, I mean, it's not one of your values, then you can't put it up there and then go, yeah, you all care about everybody when I don't. I mean, it's really something that it's whatever it is that's, you're the heart of the company, it's going to go leadership down, the culture. And you can have a winning culture. You can have all kinds of different cultures, but I think you have to exude that culture through everything you do. My daughter's starting a business and she was like, hey, here's my logo. And she got a sign and everything's done. Well, she goes, well, hey, on these tags, her colors are blue in the logo. Well, then on the tag, it's like, hey, I can do black and white or whatever. I go, no, you just do blue. You do that logo over and over and over. And you just, it's like, it looks the same every single time that someone sees it. And I said, so that's kind of what I'd suggest too for a lot of our companies is, man, just look the same. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of guys will print, back when we used to print work orders, like nobody does that anymore, but they would print black, they just print 2-color work orders. Right. And they have a 3-color logo. And I go, why? You're changing your logo. Yeah. Coca-Cola never changed. Apple never, that apple with the bite out has been there forever. I go, so it's just, don't change it. Like make it look the same. Keep the common theme going, make sure. And then when you have like creative, everybody starts getting on a whiteboard and thinking these funny things or just even whatever. Right. Look different. Right. Don't look like everyone else.
Let me interject real quick.
Yeah.
Because I've worked with enough agencies. I worked at an agency before I came here. There's guys, they'll get down a rabbit hole of creative and fun.
Yeah.
How much do you pull and go, okay, hey, remember, this is what we need to exude timeliness,
Yeah.
Is there a lot of give and take when you're in this creative or you guys got it down where they know what you want now?
Yeah, we pick, and I'll be honest, the last couple of times we're like, hey, y'all really aren't providing us with enough scripts. Like if we were going to do 6 spots, they should give us 12 scripts.
Yeah.
And then we go, well, I don't like what that script says. Hey, change this. So you should be actively involved. And if your agency doesn't like it, there's another one right down the street. Yeah. They're supposed to. Now, the other part too, to be fair, before they start their creative process, because anybody who's creative, when they create something, they take offense if you go, yeah, your baby's ugly, that kind of sucks.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
They do, yeah.
And it's hard to do. So, but to be fair, if you're very clear about the direction on the front end of it,
right,
and clarity means not giving them like a freaking paragraph of stuff to say, hey, we're trying to do this.
Yeah.
But if you're to go, we really want to focus on 2 things in these spots, like timeliness and how good our techs are. And that's all we want to, then you've given them the road. Then you ask them, so what, instead that script's not as bad, what's that have to do with timeliness? Right? Like what does that have to do with the value? So then now you're asked a question that you gave them clarity.
Yeah.
And now you're challenging is, please clear this up for me.
Right.
And I think that, and understand that they're not that great at they're good at their job and stuff. That's why you're hiring them, but they're not so good that they can't be like tweaked a little bit.
No, they're not in our industry. That's the thing. That's how I always feel with agencies. They're coming to the outside. You got to kind of guide them a little bit.
I mean, and even us, like we get so egocentric in what we do that we forget that customers don't sit around all day thinking about plumbing, AC, and electric.
Right.
And they're the same way. They forget that the people watching what they're doing are the important people that we're trying to influence. So I think that's the same thing as, we do that all the time. We think people are just sitting around. I go, yeah, your customer's not sitting around thinking, when's my next plumbing problem? I'd really like to call Jimmy.
That's right.
It's like, that's not what's going on.
Support for this podcast comes from Clean Effects. Clean Effects is Trane's premier solution to deliver cleaner air to the entire house by removing up to 99.98% of airborne particles that pass through the reusable filter, including 99.9% of the influenza A H1N1 virus. Restricted airflow through a clogged filter forces your system to work harder, reducing its lifespan. Trane Clean Effects uses a powerful patented IFD corona field to charge incoming air, causing particles to adhere to the Clean Effects collection cells as air passes through. Since your furnace or air handler isn't struggling to work against a clogged filter, clean air flows freely. The Trane Clean Effects collection element is groundbreaking. Each layer is only 0.08 inches apart, with alternating charges, which makes for a stronger, more effective collection field. What's more, The Trane Clean Effects element has 8 times the collection surface, over 50 square feet of a standard electronic air cleaner, so it is vastly more efficient at providing clean air throughout your home. For more information, visit the CertainPath member hub or contact Trane's DeVoe Ward at strategic accounts at tranetechnologies.com or 469-346-1776. And for more information on Trane, visit trane.com. Support for this podcast comes from PulseAM and Customer Lobby. Successful CertainPath members like you know the value of thinking like a customer. We've got the tools to help you do just that. Enter PulseM Plus, combining the power of PulseM and Customer Lobby to enhance your customer's journey by creating value at every touch point. We've helped hundreds of CertainPath members like you win and retain more business. PulseM Plus utilizes PulseM's industry-leading reputation management capabilities to help you build out the early stages in your customer's journey and maximize your online reputation through Google reviews. Then PulseM Plus keeps your customers coming back by incorporating Customer Lobby's powerful retention platform, using postcards, emails, and text messages to send the right message at the right time to encourage repeat business. And as a CertainPath member, we'll waive your setup fees. For more information, please visit get.pulsem.me/PM-plus-CertainPath.
On the flip side, you referenced we got really good at operations, or even better, right? So what did that look like? How did you communicate to your leaders, hey, things aren't what they were last year. We need to get you mentioned the email, but like, what else did you guys do? How else did you get them to start thinking differently, and lead in that direction? What did you guys do?
Well, a big part of it is I kind of almost have a coaching approach to that. Like, and sorry for all the girls. I know they're not great on sports analogies or whatever, but we are kind of a guy strong in industry. But I will tell everybody in the office, like I think it's important to communicate clearly. I think it's going, hey, it's like, call a timeout and have a huddle. Well, we don't do our all team meeting except in January and maybe one in April. You're like, no, you go ahead and do one, because as soon as I'm big about hitting the panic button early. Hey, look, I see a rough on the horizon, and it's your job strategically as the leader and the owner or the operator to go, you should be looking from way up here down.
Yeah.
You shouldn't just see the tree. You see the whole forest, and you should be like, hey, this is getting rough. It's getting tough. Let's call a timeout. Let's get everybody in the room, and let's tell them the expectation. Yeah. So I got everybody together. I said, look, guys, we got to work harder for the same amount of money. Let's just get that in our head.
Right.
And we're all trying to win. We're behind, and we can't get to where we're trying to go without every single one of us doing the very best job that we can.
Yeah.
So I want to tell you something. Don't be the person that we put on the bench because you're not playing hard.
Right.
I go, there's no excuse. There's no excuse for effort. If I'm telling you, we need your effort.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to give it,
yeah, then
get out of the way. It's kind of like in that Tombstone movie where the dude comes up and he goes, either get the fighting or get the out of the way, and it's like, I know exactly. And it's exactly what we're doing. We're saying, hey, timeout, guys. And we all huddle up and be like, hey, if we were behind in a basketball game, we'd be like, Bob, timeout. Okay, dude, we got to play some defense. We have no chance if we don't hustle and start really getting serious about this.
Yeah.
And so I think it's important for us to communicate those times. You can't do it every freaking week or every month.
Yeah.
But they know it's special when you only do it every so often. You bring everybody together.
The whole team.
Okay.
The
whole entire team. And you say, hey, here's where we're at. This is not going away. We can cry about it. And so I always say, if you're backed in a corner, there's two things you do. It's just human nature. You either start swinging and fighting, or you get down the fetal position and protect yourself.
Right.
And I said, guys, I want fighters. I want to get out there and fight. I want people that are moving. Just don't be moved. Just don't be sitting around. I want y'all to talk. I want y'all to still have a good time at work. I still want y'all to, I joke around. I see people and they're at each other's cube and they're laughing. And I go, hey, no laughing at work, damn it. And they all laugh. That's funny because I'm not that serious. But It's okay to have fun at work. It's okay, but it's also, I need effort and I need you to try hard.
Yeah.
And if you're not, I have guys, they leave like at 3:30, 4 o'clock. But you know what? They get their job done.
Right.
Really effectively. So I'm like, as long as you do that, I'm fine with work flexibility.
Right.
But you got to get your stuff done and do it well. And I think that's what you do. You bring everybody together. You huddle them up. You go, let's go. Hey, you give them a little speech, but you tell them expectation.
Yeah.
And then when somebody's like, jacking around or has not been a good player in the first place, they're going to not be one. They're going to be really evident when everyone's hustling around and moving around and they're sitting still.
Yeah.
And then you go, bye, get out. You're off the team.
Yeah.
And everyone, because it really makes everybody mad when they're really trying hard.
Right. And someone isn't.
Exactly. And you stick out like a sore thumb. They will come to you and go, man, what are you going to do about John?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, John's not pulling his weight. Mm-hmm. And I really do like that about our team.
Yeah.
They do have this sense of urgency and a sense of accomplishment, execution. And I think that's what makes us great, is that when we put out a thing, like if it's to be better customer service, if it's to improve anything in what we're doing, the guys go, let's do it, and let's do it now.
Yeah. So mindset's a big thing. But
yep.
Operationally, there's things you had to have done with less calls, and you still are growing.
Yeah.
You're still doing really well. It's not like you're shrinking. Are there any certain things you can think of operationally that you're like, we need to do differently? We need to expand a service area a certain way, or we need to expand the service hours, or any little tidbits people could benefit?
Well, I mean, we're looking for other avenues.
Yeah.
We're kind of just like, hey, here's the only way we kind of go to work and make money. And we look for other avenues. Like, hey, is there something we're not doing? I mean, water treatment's been kind of a discussion. This other thing's a discussion. There's all these discussions
right.
of other things that we could do. And, when you're doing really well and everything, and you're like, hey, I've got rich people problems. I got too many calls, right?
Sure.
And then, and even now, I mean, the great operators are still operating well.
Yes.
All the guys in our group, 28, they're doing well.
Yeah.
They're just not doing what they expected, because last year they did so good. Now the expectation was higher and they didn't quite get what they expected. But what I do like about, the group and everybody I've been talking to, it's like, hey, we're soft. We're not the way we were.
Yeah.
But man, we're making adjustments and we're doing okay and we're finding out stuff. And the other part, I mean, this is when the team members that aren't pulling their weight show up.
Right.
And then you kind of cull the herd. I mean, you go, okay, you guys get out. Y'all aren't producing.
Right.
And now you look like a big sore thumb, where before I couldn't even tell you were there.
Right.
And now you're sticking out because we're looking for every efficiency and every way to do it. Now, to be fair, I will say this. You need to talk to those people.
Right.
And sit down with them and go, I see you.
Yeah.
And you're not doing good. And what can we do to help you get better?
Right.
What can Baker Brothers, what can I do to help you?
Right.
And then when you offer it that way, it's one thing to go, hey, you suck and you need to do better. I mean, that does work sometimes. But the times that you go, hey, what can I do to help you out?
Yeah.
And then you get genuine feedback, and then y'all go and leave, and let's have a plan, and you leave, and they don't execute that plan.
Mm-hmm.
They're not trying.
Right.
And it's time to part ways. So we've had some, turnover that way, but not a ton.
I was going to ask about that. Yeah.
Yeah. We've had some turnover that way where we said, hey man, we just got to do something about this. We can't, keep Joe's brother-in-law here, just sucking the life out of the rest of us.
Right. Right. On the flip side, I'm sure there's been some opportunities to maybe find some good people, right? I mean, because when things tighten up and smaller companies can't keep as many techs or plumbers, or hours get cut back, they go, hey, you know what? I'm going to go check out Baker Brothers.
Bob, that's exactly what we do. We like to pick on the small guy. Let's go grab his good people.
I'm not saying grab it.
Let's just beat him up and take his lunch money and go, come on over here, guys. No, but what you're saying is true.
Yeah.
It is 100% true that these guys do show up at your doorstep. I mean, our marketing director right now, I mean, I can't believe we've got him. We put out for a marketing director, and we got the guy, he used to work for the Dallas Mavericks, report directly to Mark Cuban.
Wow.
I mean, he's a high level guy that we are just really proud to have.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think you do have those opportunities to grab some people up, that are really good. And, there's a lot of techs out there. I mean, like, I will say this, like with, Gus and I in the same market, being the larger companies, if either one of us gets slow, man, usually the third tier down is like desolate. Like it's 15 hours, 20 hours a week.
Right.
That's normally what happens. Like you get those guys to come over and grab those guys up. So, there's a lot of that activity going on. But I mean, the thing is though too, is you slow hiring, when you go, well, hey, let's maybe not hire so many office personnel.
Yeah.
You kind of like pass on people too.
Sure.
But this is one of the mistakes I think that my guys are making. I go, you talk to everybody.
Because he talked to him.
No, you talk to him. You interview him and you talk to him, because if someone is like a superstar, you grab them. We'll figure out the rest later. But if someone is a stud, you bring that person on.
Right.
So that is the truth. I mean, I go, hey, and it is a mistake to go, well, we're not really hiring. I don't think you always look.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, just a little shift here. I don't know, like 6-8 months ago at CertainPath, all of a sudden it's like we are looking at all things AI. Like, how can we be more efficient? There's all sorts of tools. We were having meetings. Like, is there anything we can utilize? How about, how about in your industry and home services? Have you guys utilized AI yet? I know your son's into that very much so.
Yeah, I'm basically just put him into bed. He came out computer science, really good school, really smart kid.
Yeah.
And basically just said, I'm not just saying that because he's my kid. I mean, he really is. And so I'm like, well, hey, he did this project with AI where he actually recreated our business coach. So he took a single individual and put the bot on their data set, and basically it learned how to answer the way that guy answers, which is really incredible. I mean, it's creepy good. Well, what happens, I think too, is I'm trying to get him to like, hey, let's look into how we can do that in our business and to do some things. I talked to you about Puan. Puan's coming out with something. It's going to come out. I think everybody's going to be freaking out. They're going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe this.
Yeah.
It's going to come out probably around January or something like that. And it's going to be amazing. But what the deal is it gets to be where it hurts our head.
Right.
Because we don't know about it. I mean, my son's been using it for 3 years now or something. We don't even know anything about it. Yeah. So we come across Chat GPT and start just jacking around. We don't even know that it's a conversation. Like, we just go, hey, I can put in this whole paragraph and it writes up this thing in 2 seconds. Hey, I want a 20-page paper on the evolution of plumbing over the last 100 years. It'll throw a freaking paper at you and you'll go, oh, not 20 pages. How about 10?
Yeah.
How about one paragraph? It'll shrink it down. But see, that's the funny part is we don't even know the chat part. We just go, wow, a 20-page paper, we stop.
Yeah.
We don't understand fully how to utilize it. And what's funny is we can't get out of our brain that's a database. So my son was actually talking to, somebody about doing some work for him. And he goes, and the guy kept talking about, well, what database or what data? It's like you're using a data set for it to learn and to keep learning.
Right.
And that's what's kind of hard for us to believe, and how fast it's going to happen. This is like the smartest person times 1,000 learning at a rate 24/7 constantly.
Yeah.
So it's really hard for us to understand the actual learning aspect. We kind of go, oh, it's just out searching for data all across the internet and bringing it together. It's like, no, it's actually learning how to do everything. And you can ask it the most ridiculous stuff, but I'll tell you a really simple way. And I talked to James, and he was telling me the same thing. He goes, basically, I use it for scripts for radio. I want a radio spot with this kind of a dynamic and this kind of thing, and there's a radio script for 30 seconds. I want, a TV spot. Hey, I want like something, you know how you do a website?
Yeah.
So AI can write a website in 30 seconds. Yeah. They can get the bones of your website together. Then on top of that, you can go in there and go, I want this to be about plumbing. Hey, can you show me what a customer, end user, homeowner would want to know about a plumbing company? Yeah. And then it'll go, here's the things they want to know. Then fill it. Then, hey, here's that stuff about my plumbing company. Write me a paragraph on that. And you can fill your whole thing in just seconds. Yeah. A job description, for instance, marketing director. We didn't have one. So we had to have a job description for it and something to go advertise for it, right? So Bub and I probably would have taken, I'd say, about a week and a half in our part-time to write of all the other things we do in our part-time to write down what things we think we need from a marketing director.
Yeah.
Then we'd have got together a week later. Hopefully we'd have had it done. I'd probably say a week and a half, and we'd actually had it done. And then we'd have got it together, and then we'd had to correlate the ideas and then write it up.
Right.
And that would have probably taken another 2 days for an assistant or whatever to do that.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
Right.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
And the most complex, and it sounds like a Harvard graduate wrote it. I mean, it is really incredible.
Yeah.
But I think we're just on the point of just probably the last 6 months that we, as the average business owner and CEO or whatever, know about it.
Mm-hmm.
And now we don't know how to use it. And I don't know that we know how to really, really effectively use it. And I think every time I start having this conversation with a guy like me, they get down the rabbit hole, and it's just like this blown out, oh my God, I can't even, you're like going, dude, I know. I mean, it's infinite.
It's a lot.
Possibilities. So I would suggest this for everybody. I think what you have to do is just go, okay, it's out there, and you have to kind of just go, let's get focused on this, like job description.
Yeah.
Let's get focused on this, and then figure out a way that you can get that and use because it does save a ton of time.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that at a point, we're talking, there's all these uses in our industry. It won't replace a plumber. It won't replace a technician. That's the good thing for those guys.
Right.
Right. But I think we're going to definitely, in office, be able to be a lot more efficient.
Support for this podcast comes from redesign.co. Are you finding it hard to make your mark in the competitive digital world? Look no further than redesign.co. Our expert services will ensure your business achieves maximum visibility through programmatic display, device ID geofencing, email marketing, and a strong online presence. Don't let potential customers slip away and allow your brand to blend in with the rest. Get in touch with redesign.co and let our exceptional digital marketing team help you stay ahead of the competition. And Moen. As the #1 faucet brand in North America, Moen offers a diverse selection of thoughtfully designed kitchen, bath, and smart water security products, each delivering the best possible combination of meaningful innovation, useful features, and lasting value. Moen strives to be the most durable, reliable, and easy-to-install brand of faucets. Moen leans on pros to help continue to drive consumer innovation and influence Moen's engagement with consumers in a meaningful way. For more information, visit plumber.moen.com.
Okay, another shift of topics. I'm really always impressed. All the guys I've talked to know here, we're going to add HVAC. We're going to add electrical. We were talking about one that we know just acquired a good-sized company. He's getting into electrical. Given the headwinds and the interesting economical situation that we're in, is there any advice you would have for those people on how to do it well so they don't fall flat or have to stumble through that process?
One of the things, and it's just like that one you're talking about, older guy, seeing the economy get rough and going, dude, right now, like before, it was like, hey, give me $1 billion for my company. And that's what most times when you go to talk to somebody who's a smaller company going, hey, I want to be acquired. I want $1 million. You're like, dude, you're not even close to where you got 3 trucks.
Yeah.
You're just not worth it because you don't have any systems and processes.
Right.
And your customer list is a little tiny. And I go, you just don't have, what you need.
Yeah.
And so the deal is now, though, they're like, okay, I'm 65, 67. I don't see like a really bright future in my economy. I think you could get the price right.
Right.
I think you get a lot better price for that. So I would not, something else too. Interest rates are high. Let's just say, it's 7%, for instance, just say that's the number that you would have to, if you want to go out and buy it and you want to acquire it, you had to get a loan and you got it for 7%. I think what everybody forgets is that you can refinance it if it goes down.
Right.
Now, what if it becomes 10%? Now you look like you're stealing at 7.
Yeah.
So I think people don't realize when they go get a note or a mortgage and they're like, oh gosh, it's 7%. It's like, well, if you can afford the payment.
Yeah.
If it goes down, you can refinance it.
Mm-hmm.
If it goes up, you look like a genius.
Right.
So I think, that'll kind of sink in. It's been, high for a while.
Sure.
And I think that's a big part of what's kind of slowed things down.
Yeah.
You've got new construction slowing down. You've got new homes. That's 40% in Dallas, and we're one of the places people were really flocking to.
Right.
So you got, there's a definite, and then you got the tech world. I mean, they're laying off. They laid off another, I can't remember if it was Amazon or somebody laid off a huge number of people, but Amazon has, Google has, Twitter, all of them are just sitting there throwing people aside. So my son's like, basically, I had people begging for me to get out of school and go to work for them. And now it's just like a ghost town.
Yeah.
You need to have like 5 years experience to be considered. So I think that part of it is creating this. At first it was like, hey, there's a recession going on for people in mortgages and finance and banking and like, construction and home building. And then now the tech guys.
Yeah.
That's a good size of our economy that is experiencing layoffs, recession at massive rates, and repression of salary, because now they're all available. What I used to pay $100,000 for, maybe I'm paying 75, and you just do it because you need a job.
Right.
So I think that's kind of some of the stuff we're seeing in the economy, and we don't realize it because maybe in our world it's not direct impact to us.
Yeah.
But it's gonna keep. We felt it this year. And if that keeps on, we'll keep feeling it. And so I think, we just have to be prepared not to be scared or fearful of it.
Sure.
And not to be, oh my gosh, I'm so scared. And that's what I love about this expo is this. I don't see fear in anybody's eyes.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone feels like they're under control.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what the key is like, hey, we know the situation. We've been in it before. We're going to make it through and we're going to do well. And I think we all should be cautious, optimistically cautious. And I think, everybody goes, it'll turn, it'll do all these things. But I really do think that I'm really impressed with our group because there's an overall upbeat of the people here.
Yeah.
And they spent money to get here.
Yeah, there's good energy.
Yeah. And so I think we're all, and I think it's because it's the evolution of the group.
Mm-hmm.
I think if this was 10, 15 years ago, everybody would be running around like, oh my God, because I think there are more companies right now in our group that actually do the things that they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
That feel like they have planned and the plan is working and I've got a budget and I've got control over what's going on. I feel good about my advertising, my marketing. I feel good about, what I'm doing and feel in control. And that's what I think makes that fear,
right,
is that you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen to me? I don't know.
When you're not in control and you have no direction.
Yeah. And I think that's what I'm really proud about this group over all these years is that so many people are doing what they're supposed to. It's just little stuff like you guys changing EA and stuff. Like, making it better, making it like, yeah, you're drinking our fire hose still, but y'all made it more days. And you also made it where, hey, you leave with a plan of action.
Right.
And then you hold accountable to the results. Like, hey, are you executing?
Yep.
And I'm telling you, no one can beat us if we execute.
Right.
I think I said that on stage. Hey, the world's full of good intentions. I told everybody I was going to write all y'all handwritten thank you cards. Man, you know what? I just never got around to it. I don't know how many times I heard my wife go, I always had these good intentions, but I just seem to not ever, follow through with them.
Yeah.
And as long as we never get into that, as long as we go, hey, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. Let's execute the plan. As long as we copy each other and use each other in our knowledge base to get better, skip steps.
Yeah.
Man, we've got it licked better than any of the other organizations out there. They're up there rah-rah-reeing and I think
there's a lot of that going on these days. Yeah.
Functional. We don't have a big social media thing going, hey, we're the best guys in the industry. We actually have people that are like, what's great about some leaders, they're humble. They care about the other people and they really want you to do better. And they will tell you, hey, here's exactly what you guys need to do to get better.
Yeah.
Not a generality. Do better marketing. Okay, great.
Right.
Hey, try harder. Okay, awesome. Thanks. That didn't give me a lot of direction.
That's good stuff. All right, a couple quick hitters to wrap up. Again, just because I got to chat with so many members and excited to see what their goals are. And there's guys that when they're at the 20 and they're like, I want to get to 40 in 5 years. What 2 or 3 things would you say, if you put yourself back in those shoes, would propel them to get to that next level, that double?
One of them is communicate to your team. Get them involved in the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Stop telling them what to do every meeting And then the next meeting, go, did you do that? Did you do that? Did you do that? Let them understand why you're doing those strategic things and why they're doing what they're doing. Let them use their brain. You will never be able to get to a larger size just using you by yourself.
Right.
Being I'm the genius of the group. Y'all are stupid. That's a bad thing. And if your people are stupid, get new people. You need smart people. But I would say that communicate. Make sure that you have a meeting, a very constant rhythm of meetings. Like we said that I think the other day is like, hey, if you have a problem, meet about it.
Yeah.
If you get 4 people in the room, 3 people in the room, and you meet about that problem will go away.
Yeah.
It's really weird. It's just osmosis almost. It'll happen.
Yeah.
The other part is execute. Have a plan and execute the plan. And if you don't execute the plan, be a jerk about it. You don't have to, I can ask you, hey, Bob, did you get that stuff done that, we're all trying to get this plan done, right? And your responsibilities were X.
Yeah.
What happened? Instead of going, well, God, Bob, you didn't get it done and be a jerk about it. Ask the why question. Why did you not get it done? What's going on? Hey, let the group help.
Right.
Because a lot of times we come into a barrier and it may be a vendor. It may be, something outside of their control.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then you got to show the guys how to get around those barriers, and the group will kind of go, oh, well, Bob, man, did you try this? No, I haven't tried that yet. Well, hey, let's try that next week. Let's see what happens next week and then meet next week, because we have a constant rhythm of meeting, a constant communication.
Yeah.
We know where we're going. We know what we're all trying to do. Let your team in on the whole play.
Yeah.
Don't just show them a piece of it. I remember when I was playing football and you were lineman too. I remember I just was like, okay, on this play, I got to step left and then push this guy over here.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was going on. I was like, when I was first, freshman sophomore, I didn't know what was going on back
behind you. Yeah.
I was just like, they said my job was to step left and push him over there.
Yeah.
When I found out, as I got to be about a junior, what was going on behind me and what all the numbers meant and stuff, besides the holes.
Yeah.
The front number.
Yeah.
Was a certain person getting the ball.
Right.
The timing of that play, I understood when I needed to get that guy out of the way.
Right.
Not only did I need to get him out, but how long I needed to get him out, or how short of a time I needed to get him out, or where I could push him a different direction and it'd be fine. That was like kind of a aha moment. I think that's what we need to do with our employees. Don't just let them be up there going, okay, step left, step left, step left.
Right.
Get them to where they understand what's going on holistically, and don't be scared to give them that information.
Yeah.
So many people are scared to give their employees, like even their quarterly sales number. I had it up on a wall, and people are like, you show them that?
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it's ridiculous when you get to 50 million. You're like, we're trying to do $20 million this quarter. And they're like, I talked to the guys about it. Be clear with them. Hey, guys, if I got $20 million a quarter, I wouldn't even be here. I'd be on an island that I own somewhere, freaking jacking around. I was like, dude, I don't get that money. That's how much money we have to pay all of you guys, and y'all have medical and pay our bills.
Right.
This is our budget. We have to have this so that you have job security.
Right. And
we don't get even $1 million. Does it come to Jimmy's bank account that quarter?
Right.
I said, so I think it's clarity, but, the execution part, letting everybody in on the plan.
Yeah.
And then you working as a team together to get that stuff done. And what's funny is when you work as a team together, your group, if someone's not up to snuff, they are very apparent standing over here by themselves. You're like, dude, what? This guy's not smart enough, not good enough, doesn't have the right behavior. He's not tough enough. He doesn't have enough grit. He doesn't want to get it done.
Right.
He's getting in our way. And what you have to do is the team will basically, like I said, cull itself and be like, hey, Jimmy, we got to do something about Fred over here. Because, dude, every time we try to get something done, we get right up to it, and then he stops us.
Yeah.
And so you either got to go talk to Fred, go, Fred, look, if you don't stop doing that, we got to do something about it.
Right.
And if he goes, well, I'm going to be that way, then go, okay, we'll go be that way somewhere else.
Yep.
But I think that is something, too, that's going to happen in this time. We're going to get tougher. We're going to get less patient. We're going to start demanding that our team be a certain way.
Sure.
And we are going to go, well, if you can't keep up, then if you can't keep up with us, then you got to go.
Right. Okay. So I've had a lot of conversations, also the beautiful part of this organization is we welcome smaller guys and help them. I can't tell you how many stories, little to big. I met you and you're $3.5 million, I think. What do you tell the guy who's in all the fires, right? And he's making money, but he's, it's hectic. If you had to go back to that, what would you do to start propelling yourself to get out of that?
Well, I see guys even all the time, and even people that work for some of the big companies, and man, they're just on their phone. And my question is, why are you on the phone so much? And typically it's because everyone's using your brain.
Right.
They're just coming to you for the answer. And you're like, they know the answer. And you're like, why does that person not know the answer to that question? That's a really simple question.
Yeah.
And so you start asking yourself why this person's calling me. You all these phone calls. I can barely go to Expo because I got to get out and talk to somebody, right? All the time. You've got to figure out how to get them to use their brain. I'll give you an example. When one of my guys was a manager and he had, 10 guys, I mean, he's on the phone the whole time, and I'm listening. I'm like, Jason, man, why are you on the phone all the time? And he goes, well, there was one pricing and da-da-da. I go, they've got a book.
Yeah.
This is back when we had paper book, way back in the day.
Sure.
Paper books. So I said, stop giving him the answer. I know you know the answer. They're user rate. You want to stop? Watch this. When they call next time, say, do you have your book with you? Yes. See the tab that says drain cleaning? Open that tab. Oh, see the table of contents? See where it says kitchen drains? Page 6. Go to page 6. Now, did you find the kitchen drain clean line for 20 foot? Yeah. Oh, it's down. Yeah, that one. Okay, put the task code down. Never give them the answer. Make them. So one, if they don't know how to use the book, you just taught them.
Right.
But two, what happened is immediately within 2 days, his phone calls went down to a third, and they only called him on big jobs and problem jobs and jobs that weren't in the book.
Right.
But he had like at least 5 of his guys, 3 calls a day, 5 guys were all calling him for every price. That's a ton of phone calls, much less than ones you get because there's a customer issue. There's actually a big proposal. So I want to say to the smaller guy, think about that. Are your guys relying on you for stuff that there's no reason that they can't figure it out on their own? Empower them to do it indirectly. What we did is I empowered you to look up your own price indirectly in that scenario. Yeah. So empower them to do it. Figure out how to do that. One of the other things too is stop dealing with the same problems. A lot of times, there's a stuff in Texas called, I don't know if it's everywhere, but it's called nutgrass. And basically it's a weed it looks like 2 blades of grass.
Oh,
and it sticks up it sticks up about 6 inches higher than the rest.
Yep.
Right. So you have this perfect jar, then here comes this nutgrass. There's like 10 of them, right?
Yep.
You go in there, and if you just pull them, it pops off right at the root. And what happens is the next week you have 50 things of nutgrass. The next week you have 200.
Yeah.
But if you pull it up by the root, it goes away.
Yeah.
So think about that in the root cause of issues. Get to what is actually causing this problem. And this is one of the key things, I think, for all of us. A customer calls in and complains. What we do is we kind of pull that weed up not by the root. What we do is we fix the customer. They complain about, okay, whatever happened. We get it fixed and we get them where they're okay, right?
Yeah.
But say that it was a training issue with the technician that's the root cause of why they were calling, because the tech said or did the wrong thing. We don't correct the tech or train the tech or coach the tech. We just handle the customer.
Right.
And then we go, okay, next problem.
Right.
And what happens is that's where you get that nutgrass where it's just all over your whole yard and you can't find your bow with both hands. And you're on the phone the whole time. You're running your battery out. You have to get so you see the guy with the big battery pack downstairs, like he has the extra battery.
Yeah.
I never use the extra battery. I have a way bigger, larger business and don't use the extra battery. And what I'm saying is but you do have to find ways to make more time, and you're usually your own enemy about that. You're usually not doing stuff the way you need to do it to get it done, and not empowering your employees to let them make decisions. And if you're that guy that's going, my employees are too stupid, guess who hired them? You did.
Good stuff. All right, Jimmie, thank you so much for your time today. I think that's a good way to wrap it up. I appreciate it.
All right, no problem. Thanks, Bob.
Support for this podcast comes from Dynamic Air Quality Solutions. Since 1982, Dynamic has been the leader in designing, manufacturing, and distributing IAQ products to the commercial and residential markets through authorized HVAC contractors. CertainPath members receive the exclusive value of the Clean Air Defense System private label to drive your brand in the market you serve. Our commitment starts with support. We provide you with world-class industry-leading technical and communication training, face-to-face and online. Become a Clean Air Defense System indoor air quality partner and dominate your market. Visit worldclassiaq.com for more information.
The Successful Contractor Podcast is part of the CertainPath family. CertainPath builds successful home service businesses and has for 23 years. We do it by providing contractors with a proven path to success, professional coaching, software solutions, and a member community of over 1,000 contractors just like you. Doubling your sales with a 20% net profit and an inspiring company culture is all possible. Let us show you the way. With CertainPath, success is made certain. Visit www.mycertainpath.com for more information.